Okay, so we're gonna go over now the arm and guillotine. Okay, so I think for visibility purposes, I may just do me on top half. Somebody's doing a half guard. I usually set it up this way anyways, because I like to do the cradle. You know, it's just a good setup. So I'm gonna be on his side here. I may be in half guard or whatever. It doesn't matter all this stuff, how we pass and all this, but understand, you know, a lot of times if I can't get the cross face, I'm going over, boom. I'm gonna be doing this kind of stuff, okay? And that's really just to free my leg, you know, because I get a connection, then I can really start freeing my hips. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna start going over the head here. Now, what usually happens, guys that play really good half guard, is sometimes they'll underhook like this, yeah. And so before I get into this, we need to understand the difference, right? If this underhook right here, if I'm actually wanting to go for a guillotine, what I want is his arm actually exactly where it's at. My elbow is connected kind of to his elbow, and I'm pinching it. In the event, like I say, I pass or whatever, I actually want to drop down here. That's me going for a darce, right? I'm breaking it down, going in, and trying to get this position. So understand that when I'm passing, I'm not looking to break this arm all the way down to like I'm going for a darce. That's a whole different thing. I'm actually looking to pinch it and kind of keep it almost kind of high, right? Keeping it kind of high with me here, which is actually technically where he wants it anyways. He wants it to be as high as possible because that's going to be as, you know, gives him the most space and the easiest way to escape. So I'm going to accommodate that. I'm going to say, okay, that's fine. Then I'm going to pinch my elbow to my ribs. So I get it tight. Now I go over the top here. Now here's where you have a choice. I don't want to mess up his neck.
No, you're good.
So here's where you have a choice. Because when I get here is, you can go to the ball and chain grip here. That's fine, it'll work. I've been using this cross grip right here because it seems to me that this is a lot stronger grip. Like it's very hard, even if we were to grab my hand and try to pull them apart, they're just anchored in. There's no way. Whereas if I'm like this, you know, he can start grabbing, maybe some guys will grab your thumb or some bullshit or something they're not supposed to, but it happens. Same with the S grip. S grip is just not, in my opinion, not strong, unless the guy's bigger. If the guy's a lot wider and bigger, I'll have to like reach for my fingers, and that's when I would use that. So for today, I'm gonna use either the ball and chain or that, or this grip here, okay?
Also, that is confusing because the arm is not where you think it is.
Yes, exactly.
That.
Yeah, for the person on bottom, it can be a little, right? Like it seems weird if I'm here and then I rotate.
I'm expecting the arm to be somewhere.
Yeah, he's expecting me to be here, the hand to be accessible, right? But as soon as I cover it with the other hand, it's no longer accessible. It's harder. It's harder to access my hand when I'm covering it, right? It's like when we do a rear naked choke, right? We're setting it up, we're like covering our choking hand so that we can go. It's the same thing in a way, but I'm covering the hand that he actually needs to pull off, right? So you get here, I pinch, and I get to this position. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, remember that whole rotation thing of the arm that I was talking about, like getting under his neck and doing this? I'm rolling his like Adam's apple. I'm like this, right? So as I get my grip, I'm rolling him, okay? That adds he should already be feeling some of that pressure already as we're going in. So here, now all I'm gonna do is, once I get this grip, we're gonna I'm gonna start to fall or allow him to come up. He comes up. Now there's two ways my feet can go. I'm gonna loosen up on the grip. There's two ways my feet can go here. One is I have him in full guard, which is great. I mean, this is great. I still wanna be on my side. I don't wanna be straightened up with him like this. I wanna stay on my side and get this foot over. And then I'm gonna rotate. I'm dropping his head down to his belly, and I'm dropping my elbow down to his belly as I rotate like a clock. Okay, there's no pulling. It's this. This is all I'm doing. All right, so we're gonna show from the back what his head's gonna look like. So he comes in, and this is good too, so you can see what's happening here. Comes in, I don't wanna be like this and hold him on here, okay? I'm actually gonna drop back and pinch him down, okay? I'm connecting my elbow to my ribs, right? I'll take the hand over. I get a good bite. I get that grip, and then I rotate my wrists. All right. Now, as I get here, I'm going to start to fall or allow him to come up. As he falls and comes up, I have this, and then I rotate. Now, is it tight? Mm-hmm. Yep. And I'm not even really squeezing hard. I'm not squeezing at all. It's just because of the initial bite and the rotation of my wrist and the angle that I keep rotating around, it makes it tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. It's like a rope, right? So, so get this idea of like pulling the guy away. That's kind of old school, I think, and I think it works. I mean, you get somebody in full guard, you grab them, and you start pulling them. But man, guys start defending, and they'll grab your hand, and then it's done. Or somebody bigger, stronger, whatever. Then it starts to fall apart. One last thing I want to talk about is just my foot placement. I'm not going to choke him, so I'm just going to put the grip on. So we get to the side again. Your feet can end up in several different ways. The one most common that I find is when we get to the side here, right? We go to the side, and then I get this grip, and then I start going. One thing that usually would happen is as we start to go, my outside leg should always be trying to achieve this position. But what's interesting is this bottom leg. The bottom leg's pretty interesting because it can get trapped here in a half guard. It can get trapped in a full guard, like we just did. Right? It can get trapped here. Or it can get trapped completely on the other side. Okay? So I end up here, and my foot is hooking on his hip as I cross this over. And then it's the same thing. I rotate. Mm-hmm. But this hook is very interesting. A lot of times you'll end up here, and you may think to yourself, well, the guy will flop. It's okay if he flops because you finish from a mounted. You'll finish from a mounted guillotine, which is actually, I think, probably worse. Yeah. Because you're like getting this thing and you're flat on your back. Okay. So, so just some key points. With the grip, because it's kind of confusing, is you have, if we start here, and then you have this as a gable, right? You just keep rotating. See my elbows popping up, boom. And then we rotate. And that's how we get the pressure. But look, as I'm going, I'm rotating all this is rotating under his neck. Boom. And that's where it gets really tight. So notice this little thing right here, that makes a huge difference. Not just the grip, but also that makes a big difference. So try that one out. Same thing with the ball and chain grip here, like this. It's just, again, it's the same rotating motion. So yeah, that was an arm in.
Cool.
Anything you want to add?
I don't believe so. No. I'm still
we're
getting my breath.
Cool. That was it.